Today we will cover a topic that is why pancreatic cancers are very poor in prognosis, why one cannot predict whether the person will get pancreatic cancers or not. And one of the reason is that it is a very aggressive cancer. It metastasizes uh, comparatively faster than the other cancers. So why this is so? We will discuss one of the reasons for this aggressive metastatic properties of the pancreatic cancer in this video. So these are the pancreatic epithelial cancer cells. So, and these are prone to go into this epithelial to amyloid transition. So in this case what will happen is that there is when the pancreatic cancer cells are uh, converted or transit into this amyloid form, then they will express more of this CD73 kind of receptors, and at the same time there is a reprogramming occurs within these amyloid pancreatic amyloid cancer cells that have more of this mesenchymal marker and less of the epithelial markers, and simultaneously they will also have increased amount of stem cell markers and invasion properties. And since they are transiting into these mesenchymal properties, the epithelial properties goes down, such as loss of E-cadherin. At the same time, the cell-cell junctions also been reduced. And since there is increase in the invasion properties, the amyloid cancer cells can itself migrate into this different part of the body, as uh, they have now acquired the invasion properties that will lead to the invasion metastasis. and and this is one of the way by which invasion occurs. The other way is that because of the increased number of CD73 receptors, it will trigger these P13 K signaling pathways, and P13K signaling pathways is related to the survival pathways that we have discussed many times in our previous videos. And apart from make sure the pancreatic cancer cells remain survive, it will also trigger this ROC myosin 2 pathways, that is RO-A GTP pathways, and that will leads to the this invasion metastasis properties. At the same time, it will also release some of the cytokines that will recruit pro-tumorigenic immune cells, mainly the M2 phenotype macrophages. And how this M2 phenotype macrophages helps in this pro-tumorigenic uh, pro-tumorigenic properties that we have discussed in our one of our previous videos. So in this case, let us keep our discussion focus on the topic, that is because of the CD73, it will lead to the release of the cytokines, interleukin cytokines, that will recruit tumor associated macrophages, and this tumor associated macrophages helps this pancreatic amyloid cancer cells in immune evasion. At the same time, they will also help in this invasion metastasis, because these M2 type macrophages will not only suppress the other immune cells, at the same time it will promote the metastatic or migration properties in the pancreatic amyloid cancer cells. So this will accelerate the mesenchymal properties in these pancreatic amyloid cancer cells, and uh, that will make this kind of this that will make the pancreatic cancer cells being aggressive cancer cells compared to the other cancer cells, where the where the pancreatic cancers are not usually occurred on the epithelial or on the ductal side, whereas in the case of this pancreatic cancers, the onset of this pancreatic cancers has been found on the ductals of this pancreas, where they are more prone to the external force apart from the internal changes that will promote the metastatic or migration properties. So I hope you got one of the idea or one of the reasons why these pancreatic cancer cells are very have very poor prognosis, and why it is very difficult, and why it is difficult to predict whether a person will get pancreatic cancers in future or not. So that's all for this video. So thank you for your time. If you need to understand more about this topic in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. Thank you again for your time.